Hey man. I'm just trying to figure out the best set of moves for Ray to be turn one and leave a whole bunch of multiplies on the board for my loot cases to drop on. Guess I could just go into a lower match. Yeah, I saw that. Not sure how that's going to help me, but I guess it'll help businesses, and I don't know. I think you can't help but expect some sort of a recession over the next little bit. What's the best new spot to farm? Yeah, I play on my iPhone. I just attach it to my MacBook and use QuickTime to put it on the screen. Student loans came from asking base for left 6 month mortgage. Wow, that's nice. Not having to pay my mortgage for 6 months would be good. Okay. Farming TP spots for black that's lower than where I am now. Summer Showdown hard 103. Summer Showdown hard New York 103. Is this a tag match? Yeah. Okay, we should be good here. Yeah, I didn't read the whole article. I just saw you're in beautiful BCA. I am in Toronto, Ontario, also known as the center of the known universe. So the goal here is just to get a whole bunch of loot crates to fall on those times 5s and fill up my 13 pretty easily. Yeah, that'll do it. Mitch Marner. I'm so glad to not be talking about hockey lately, just because that's my life from September till June. So it's nice to get a little break from talking about hockey. Philly Hard 122. Yeah, this is about the same, I think. Not a whole lot of medals here. New York 103. Everyone's got their little favorites. New York's always been good to me for TP. No matter what color, you can get a whole bunch of different colors here. I don't use either of them, to be honest. I get my 10 bonus loot crates, so I just use whoever's turn 1 fastest. I like this idea with Ray, to leave a whole bunch of those 5-time spots on the board for the loot crates to fall on. My Kalisto and $1 Million Man are both only 3 stars, so I don't use either of them to farm. Maybe someone else on the chat here can give a better answer than me on that. So just need one match anywhere on that bottom and we're good, so we get it again. Yeah, I saw that. They didn't say who, obviously, because the NHL doesn't tell you things like that, like the NBA does. But yeah, I mean, I always figured this season was over anyway. I mean, they're talking about coming back in July and playing into August, and then starting the next season later and going longer and still getting 82 games in. I just think any of that talk about, when we're coming back and what's going to happen when we do, and it's just all silly because nobody knows how long this is going to go. I mean, I still think we're talking about months and not weeks. So I think any talk about when we're coming back and what we're going to do and how long will the playoffs be, it's all hypothetical and a waste of breath at this point, in my opinion. The other thing that slays me is I go to the World Hockey Championships every year in Europe, the IHF Worlds, which take place in May. And the IHF has canceled every tournament that they have, except that one. They still haven't canceled it. Still holding out hope they can play. But who's going to play in it? Nobody's playing hockey right now. What players are going to go to Europe, to a country, Switzerland, which is sandwiched in between Italy, France, and Germany, 3 very highly affected countries, and play hockey in May? I just think it's a pipe dream, and I don't know why they haven't canceled it yet. But yeah, there's a lot of players you can use for turn 1 farming. I just like that there's, I've got 20 times 5 multi-gems on the board, so that when my 20 loot gems come down, all I need is one match and I'm good. So you're right, Tough is a great farmer. I used to farm with Tough all the time. Yeah, so DeBob Z, yeah, the fact the IHF still hasn't canceled that tournament slays me. Hey, Big Papa Brian. How is it affecting our income? Well, it's affected my wife's income. I'm staff, so I'm getting paid regardless of whether I'm working on sports or not, which is all right. But we're pretty much down to one income now, and hopefully this stimulus package that the government has proposed today, especially the one about deferring mortgage payments for 6 months, would certainly come in handy at this point in my household. I haven't even been looking at the end of these matches to see how much black TP is coming down. I guess I'll just, that was good. There's 6 of them anyway. Yikes. Yeah, that's, you never know who's, yeah. My son's school is on March break right now, and they've announced that the schools are remaining closed for 2 more weeks after March break, and I guess during that time they're looking for, they're going to look for some remote online solutions. I mean, he's in grade 5, so we'll see. I just think it's going to be a longer haul than a lot of people are forecasting. You know, I think we're talking about months. We're going into the fall here for sure. I think it's going to be an interesting summer. But it's good to see. It's good to see those on spring break in Fort Lauderdale are enjoying the beaches and getting their drink on, and you know. So not only are they going to come back with COVID-19, they're also going to come back with their usual array of STDs and green TP. Yeah, I think mostly in the NXT tour. You can find some pretty easy green TP matches. 26, 35, and 42, I think, are good spots. Yeah, 90 hard's always been good for green. If you've got guys can do the higher matches, you know, you get higher TP, but you're also getting into medals and stuff, so. $90 hard, $95 hard, $54 hard. It's just all these new characters lately, from Andrade to Booker to Fiend to now Bret Hart. They've all needed black, and I got Zombie Kane, who also needs black. So I'm down to the bottom of the barrel on black TP. I keep refreshing my Showdown store looking for that 500 magic TP square, and haven't been able to get lucky. So I think Thursday, when the Striker Tour comes out in the dailies, I think you get about 200 TP from doing the daily on the per day. So should have enough by that day if I farm a little bit between now and then. I think I needed about 300 black TP to get Bret to 4-star silver. So we're getting some to drop on this level. It's been pretty good. Yeah, Ted, I feel your pain for the restaurant industry, restaurants and bars. I don't have a good answer for how we take care of those people. I assume you're still doing takeout and delivery orders, you know, Uber Eats orders, and skip the dishes and all that kind of stuff. So I hope people are tipping well when they use those services, and I think it's going to be very hard for a while on waiters and bartenders, and that's why I saw a plan they were talking about in the U.S. that some of the House members were $1,000 for every American, regardless, and $500 per child. And I'm thinking, if you're someone who makes a couple of $100,000 a year, or even the super wealthy who make more than that, the government giving you $1,000 seems kind of silly. Yes, Jacob. After our walk, I'm gonna stream for a little bit, and then after our walk, we'll play. We're gonna go every day. Sure. Yeah, I hear you. I mean, I work at TSN, which is basically Canada's version of ESPN. And they've basically canceled every live production that we do. We're really only showing taped programming right now. There's nothing live, not even the Daily News, Sports Center, or any of those shows. So they actually had to lay off about 50 freelance staff. Well, if you can call freelance staff, freelance employees, who basically have no job and nothing to do until sports comes back. So it's a lot of industries going to get tagged by this. Yeah, I think another good thing to do is, if there's someone in your neighborhood who can use your help, whether it's someone older, someone infirm, someone who can't get out and restock their groceries, to pick someone and try to help them out if you're able. But I think the secret to that is pick one household and do it for them and them only, because then you're not going from house to house and potentially spreading. But any way you can help anyone in your community in this situation, I think it's a good idea. But helping is great, but limiting contact is also the goal. So find one person who needs it and help them. So the difficult part about finding the fine line between where to farm these days, because metals and metal parts are so prevalent on the higher levels, is you come down to these levels to do your farming where you don't get the metals, you're just getting coin or tokens or TP, is you get a lot of 1 TPs mixed in instead of 5s. So it builds slower, but you're not getting your inventory clogged with metals. Yeah, Toronto and Chicago, I think, are very similar. Yeah, if there's anything you can even find in the grocery stores these days, Brian. I live in a very highly populated neighborhood, populated with older European families, mostly Italian. So there's a lot of, just by the way they've grown up, there's a lot of heavily stocking and hoarding of grocery supplies as it is. They always have stuff on hand should they need it. And they're doubling up now, because the grocery store in my neighborhood just has, it has no pasta and no bread and no frozen stuff. And, the shipment comes in and then 5 minutes later it's all gone. They put out the daily shipment, and within a half an hour of the store opening, it's all gone. And that's every day. So I don't know what people are doing with all this stuff. They must have industrial sized freezers and certainly more storage in their house than I do. Yeah, I know the first match of Dead Man's Daily on Hell Mode is a good spot for black, but I'm pretty sure I completed that. Can't get back in till tomorrow, so I'm fine doing this for a while. I've also got a couple of thousand auto clears I could be using, but auto clearing on a live stream doesn't seem very fun. So I can just play the game and chat. And the other thing you don't notice is how quickly your coin piles up doing this too. In the tens of thousands per hour. Yeah, I hear you, Brian. Me too. When I need something, I just auto clear until I get what I need. But being at home 24/7 lately, I wouldn't mind getting on to stream, every day while we're doing this. So got to come up with different ideas. And I guess until the new tour comes up today at 3, this is what I'm doing. How do I see Striker Bret? I think he's very good for a free character. I think you have to take what he's doing now with a little grain of salt, because he's got 2 extra gems this month, I think, Brian. I don't know if you can confirm exactly what the bonus is for this month for Bret. So, with the tour perks or blitz perks and Titus O'Neil on him, you're getting basically a choose 10 black gem, which is massive for a striker. But when this event ends and we switch over to whatever next month is going to be, he loses 2 of those gems. So we'll see how that translates into what he's going to be from here on out once that bonus goes away. But I think he's very, very, very good. Yeah, so more often than not. Right. So he's, yeah, you're right. That's a good way of putting it, Brian. So basically, it's like you've got a third trainer for free of Trickster Macho on him for the month. That's a good way of putting it. So still at the end of the month, I mean, most people, at least who play at the level of the game that I do, the first thing you do when a new month starts is you get the Blitz perks and the Tour perks. They're relatively inexpensive coin wise to max those. Um, so you're always going to be getting extra gems and extra MP. So he's always going to be in the choose 7, choose 8 zone, and you're choosing black gems with him as he's a striker. So you're choosing 8 black gems at 10 or 12,000 a piece. So that's pretty great. And because you have a lot of board manipulation with a choose of that many gems, he's not too hard to recycle because his moves are relatively low charge. So yeah, I mean, I think he's great. So that's why I'm not hesitating taking him right up as far as he can. I've already got him at 4-star bronze. As soon as I get enough black TP, I'll be able to max his moves. And when the coin evolve event hits, I imagine early next week, the first one will be. There'll probably be 2 next week. I'll be able to take him to silver, and then it's just a matter of I'm going to be doing a lot of this black TP farming or auto clearing over the next couple of weeks to get him right up to gold. This is a little bit of a rare treat for everybody who's on the chat. I mean, I've been playing for a couple of years, and I think I know the game pretty well and know a lot of the characters. But to have Brian on the chat as well here is a fountain of information. So anyone with questions, now is a pretty good time until Brian gets bored of watching me farm. Now is a good time for some information because there aren't many people in the game more knowledgeable about the characters and about gameplay and about tricks and tips than Brian is. He's been a tremendous amount of help for me over the last year or so. Who would I take between Ray, Jimmy, or Rico? Well, I wouldn't put Jimmy quite in that mix anymore. I think you're probably talking now, would you take Rico, Ray, or Andrade? I've got the 2 Ray gears. So Ray is way, way high up there for me because with the double gear, he's pretty deadly. Wow, that's the first match I think where we didn't get 13. I don't disagree with you, Paul, but I want to try and do a stream in the afternoons when I can, when the house is kind of quiet and everybody's doing their own thing and relaxing. And yeah, there's nothing else going on right now. We've maxed our Blitz already, so I want to save Blitz tickets. But if you want, I can certainly stop farming black TP for a bit and and do a couple of blitzes with striker Bret. Yeah, I'll plead semi-ignorance on Jimmy Uso at the highest levels. I've got him at 4-star silver, but because I got Ray and Ricochet before I got Jimmy, like I only really acquired Jimmy a couple of months ago. Thanks for popping in, Brian. Because I only got him, I've always defaulted when it's come to Acro. I've defaulted to Ray and Rico. So I'm not an expert, certainly, on using Jimmy. You don't see Dead Man Taker pop up as a requirement in a lot of tours. But you get a couple of zombie events per year, right? So, and now I assume you got some zombie straps. I would honestly take up Zombie Brock in the trickster category as high as I could and put a good strap on him, and he's going to be super, super valuable for a long time. Yeah, this is pretty easy. I don't think I've been getting a ton of black TP. I'm not sure how much I started with. It was close to 0. Got 92 black. I think it's Sting any of the day of the week for me, Akeem. But you might get someone on here disagree. We could do a blitz here with Bret. Just the best free-to-play striker is Bret, for sure. I mean, he may be the best free-to-play character we've ever been given. I mean, it depends what you qualify as free. I mean, was X-Pac free? He's pretty great. Lita's pretty great. Maybe the most valuable free-to-play striker is Six because you use him a lot. For sort of lack of pins. Well, he kills him. He takes a lot of damage doing it. He wins matches against the Austin, sure. But he takes a lot of damage doing it. But just because one character can beat another specific character, do you ever use Six other than when you're fighting Zombie Austin? I would say the answer is no. Do you ever use his build other than the purple MP build? No. So I'm going to disagree with you a bit on how great 6 is. I have him 4-star silver, don't get me wrong, I like him. But you can fight anybody with this Bret. Especially in this blitz, where with the perks, he's turn 1. I mean, these are guaranteed 100% blitzes. Okay, but Phenom, his purple MP steel doesn't start charged and doesn't stay charged, right? So you can still lose matches against Austin with Phenom because you need to recharge that steel move. 6 has it on every turn, right? Unless Austin gets a wild card, he's not getting the stun move off against 6. He can't. Unless he gets a wild card, he can't. I'm still on the whole Sting causing pins thing. I tell you, I faced a Zombie Rock in the feud who had a skip turn belt. That was not fun. It was just always his turn. Even when I thought it was my turn, it wasn't my turn. It was his turn. So there's a 100% turn 1 blitz with Striker Bret. Didn't I just answer that question? About Deadman and Brock? Were you listening? I did like a whole 5-minute thing on why I would choose Brock over Deadman. Oh well, if you don't have Rizar, that's a whole different story. Clearly. So I would when you're giving people advice on that you don't like Sting, I would certainly qualify it with, oh, but I don't have his main trainer. That would be a good way. That would be a good way to start the conversation. That's like saying I don't really like Anvil. I don't think Anvil hits hard enough. Oh, by the way, I don't have Matt. I don't mean to make fun of you, Paul. But yeah, you should qualify that. If you're giving people advice that you like someone better than Sting, say, I can't run Sting like he's supposed to run. So here's my reasoning behind Zombie Brock over Dead Man. I think Dead Man is a bit of a specialist. Dead Man has long matches, and I find that he's not required in many of the monthly events very often. Usually when an Undertaker is required, they give you an any Undertaker. I can't remember the last time Dead Man was a required character in events. But you know that two times out of the year, in the spring and in October, you're getting dedicated zombie events. And now I assume if you played the Spring Outbreak at all a couple weeks ago, that you got a few zombie straps that you can use on any zombie. So I would take Zombie Brock as high as I could with the bleed sub combination. It's pretty deadly. And the fact that you can put a strap on him now that's dedicated to only zombies, I think he's a clear winner for me over Dead Man. What level was I on? New York. Who do you like between Acro, Jeff, or AJ? Jeff's a really good recycler. I like AJ. I like AJ as the second half of a tag team rather than on his own, because I find AJ's best trainer setup is with Stinger and Christian, so he can be slow without an MP trainer. So I like him as the second half of a tag team, where you can bring him in with his moves already charged up. Then you can use the two main trainers. Okay, what's going on? Yeah, AJ just didn't scale very well. They didn't do him any favors at 4-star. He's good as a tag team with Kurt Angle. They get a pretty good bonus as a tag team, the Angle Alliance. I'm hoping for Virgil. I figured something they might do is have NWO Miss Elizabeth, when she was always high on pills and she was sneaking around with Lex Luger. And they do it so that you could only acquire her in loot. 2,000 shards to recruit. And she's not exactly a wrestler that you can use in matches, but you have to level her up to 9K, or else it locks all of your NWO guys on your roster. That seems like something that would fit the business model. I don't have either Kofi or Black. I wish I did. I wish I had one of them. But that's a luxurious decision for the people who have both. But I have neither. Yeah, they were a bit of a train wreck. I don't know if you saw the Viceland series Dark Side of the Ring. Season 2, by the way, premieres in a couple weeks. Chris Jericho is narrating this season. But the episode on Macho Man and Elizabeth was pretty fascinating. Hey, it's the Enigma. Jeff Hardy, Brother Nero, has joined us in the chat. Yeah, he pretty much did. She OD'd on his couch and he couldn't help her. Jeff Hardy, what makes you such a good recycling machine? I'm not convinced it's going to be Hogan at the end of the month, just because I don't think they're done hyping the powerhouse Hogan yet. I think there's probably still more to come with him before they introduce another Hogan. What was I going to check? Oh, I'm going to show you the guys I don't have. It's a who's who of WWE champions, the list of players I don't have. So that's some pretty good guys on that list. Wolfpack, Sting, Hogan, Trish, Kofi, all the Hall of Famers except Booker. Harper, Andre, The Man, The Godfather, Aleister Black, Acro Undertaker, none of the new women, and of course I do not have Bubba Ray Dudley. So you could, if you had a roster in WWE Champions of just the guys I don't have, you'd be pretty good. I think Nash's gear helps more than Hall's. I don't think Hall's does very much, to be honest. Nash gives you, what, one more column break gem? But if you have Farouk, do you really need another column break gem? I don't think you do. So to be honest, I'm not going to get either of their gear. I'm going to use those to get something else. Coins or TP or something. I'm not going to get either of the gear. Wow, I'm getting so much red ring. Why? Yeah, I loved using Aleister Black when I got the loan of that character to do the preview. If you watch my preview video of Technician Aleister Black, the great thing about him is you never have to make a gem match on the board. You never, ever, ever have to move a gem on the board. It's always special, choose area, special, choose area, special, choose area. You're never touching a gem on the board to move it. You never need to make a match. Hey, there's 6 black TP in that bag. That's a nice little gift. I think we have a TP, a big gold, a purple TP Expo. I've never seen a 10 TP drop. Never one. Got a lot of medals sitting in my inventory that I can't claim because my medals are full right now. The medals I have in my medal inventory are better than the ones sitting in this queue, but I got a whole bunch of them sitting here that I can't claim right now because my inventory is full. It's a lot. I do not have Z-Taker. I wish I did. See how close I am to some of these characters I don't have. I have 1073 out of 2000 Hall of Fame Eddie. I have 1084 out of 2000 Hogan. No Godfather, no Hall. 600 Sting, 682 Lita, 925 Kyrie. I'm a third of the way there on Kofi. I need 35 C Cena shards. Look at this, 1065 out of 12. 1165 out of 1200. I'm really close to Zombie Rollins, which is big. I'm really close to Harper. So what am I up to in Black TP now? 103. Well, so I could do one of his moves now. The area doesn't change, still 2x3. So that would leave me with 30 something. I need 380 between his shards and the black. And I've got 222, so I need another 158. I need another 158 black. Yeah, I managed to get one zombie in that event that I didn't have. That was Zombie Kane. The first 2 of those bags that I pulled had 100 Kane shards in it. And I needed 170, so that was nice to get. But yeah, I fell short on Cena and Taker and Rollins. Yeah, no Cass. But I have Brie Bella, so really I have Cass. Because they're the same. I can't find what I'm looking for. Hey, there's me and Chris Jericho. There's my design of certified brie. Photoshop is fun. Well, I could do my KOK tour to get my 500,000 coins. He's actually pretty good at 4-star silver with, I've got a strap on him. He goes through that tour pretty easily. I think Sean's the most fun to use. I've got Sean with the gear now, so he's got an extra X-Brake gem. I use him with DDP for an extra X-Brake, and then Zombie Kane gives him another X-Brake. So this fills your 2 green moves. Then you put out a bunch of X-Brakes. Hey Brandon, welcome. Hey, there's a 5 TP black. So,
You almost done?
Hmm?
You almost done? Huh?
Maybe.
You see the last message?
I did. I said hello.
He just subscribed.
Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate it. Probably be on here a lot. I'll stream most days, I think, while we're at home in isolation with not much else to do. Do you have a Discord channel that you give advice on? No. My Discord. What's my Discord ID?
Someone asked you, Lorenzo Sani,
Yeah, hold on.
Buckle 7 Games, any idea on who's gonna come later today in the tours?
I do not know who's going to come later.
And then Paul Hunter.
That's my Discord ID on the chat there. Feel free to add me and DM me any questions you have. But I mean, I'm on Gersan's server. I'm on It Will C's server. I'm on the Intel server, so I pop in and out of there. So I'm not difficult to find on Discord. I think we're getting a Powerhouse Giant feed today. A tour today. What did I say? Feed. A giant tour, I think, is coming today. One of those flash tours that last 24 hours.
Brendan Vasquez, I like the game, but I started it last week and I have a 20K with everyone in my roster.
Yeah, it's a good time to be starting with the game because I think there's a lot more characters you can get that you couldn't when I started. But you certainly, when you start, you certainly get to a wall where there's not much you can do. You really need to try and get yourself into a faction that's going to help you with expeditions and help you with rewards. But yeah, it can be hard. It really is just a matter of grinding away like I'm doing here, trying to get black training points and just play, do levels over and over and over again and collect the rewards that you need. Do as much of the dailies as you can. But yeah. Who are your best characters, Frankie? 800K roster is pretty big. What's holding you back from taking people to 4-star gold? Oh, I've got so many mistakes on my roster, Paul, guys, that I just... Because your instinct is, okay, well, I've got coin, I've got tokens, I'm going to level that guy up, I'm going to level that guy up, use. Spend your tokens. But you really do have to be very, very selective in the beginning. Otherwise, you're setting yourself so far behind. If I could undo some of the moves I made early on in the game. Yeah, I think Brandon's a ways away from 4-star Lorenzo. But you're right.
So do you wake her up? So we can't go.
When did you wake up? My worst regret. Yeah, don't join a faction that advertises on the global chat and doesn't have a Line app or a Discord app. You want to rely on people in your faction to help you out. So if you can't communicate with them, that's your first. Hogan, Zombie Austin, Bret Hart, Mr. T, Jimmy Uso, Slick Rick, Zombie Brock. Yeah, I mean, that's really good. So like I said, what's preventing you from taking them 4-star gold? Just tokens, resources? What? You should always link your game to Facebook or iTunes. And if you change devices, you can always get it back with that ID. Take a screenshot of your number and ID. And tech support can help you get your stuff back so you don't need to start over again when you change devices. That's what I would concentrate on in prize walls, Frankie. Is don't get fooled or blinded by some of the big ticket items on the prize wall, like fuses or gears or characters, and just use that to stock up on as much resources you need for the good guys you do have. Get coins, get tokens, get the TP bags. Just empty that whole category of all that stuff. We get so many new characters that we start to neglect the ones we've got. And once you do take those characters you do have that are great, once you get them to a certain level, focus on their best trainers and get them up. I mean, I just got Andrade, and his best trainer setup is with 9K Demon Finn Balor and Eric Rowan. and I don't have either of those guys at a level to use him. So I'm using Andrade a different way than his best build. So instead of all these new characters and focusing on resources for them, I need to bite bullet at some point and just get Demon Balor and Eric Rowan to a point where they make Andrade better. That was nice. 2-5 black TPs.
Fell asleep.
Well, I don't mind Jeff Hardy at all. You need the Hardys as required characters on so many of these events that I got no problem taking any of the Hardys to higher levels.
Welcome to the
It's just the characters that you used early in the game that got you through over some of those humps. But now you're like, man, I wish I had those tokens back.
Welcome to the stream, One Dali Rivera. Welcome to the stream.
Did you eat all those apples? Did you like it with the dip? Like, who are some of the regrets that I have? Mr. McMahon's not great. I thought I would use Roman more than I do. I don't regret Acro Chris Jericho because he was my first 4-star that I pulled in that D9 event way back when. But he's not very good.
There's women in this now?
Lots of them. AJ's not very good.
John Cena. Joker. Oh, wait, what?
Mr. Perfect's not great.
Is he good?
Yeah.
Where's Andrade?
Where's Andrade?
Wait, is Up your best characters? Or am I?
No, Roman's very good. Anyone who has a choose blast gem move is good.
Wandali Rivera has a question.
Go ahead, Wanda Lee. I don't think those gears do much. I think the gears are fool's gold on those two guys. Moves that destroy black gems will destroy 4 more black gems, but I think in most best builds for Hall, you're not using the destroy black gem move.
Paul Hunter, I heard Perfect is great at 4-star gold. Is Angel good?
I probably will for the next little bit, just because we're home and doing nothing else and not working. So I'll be doing more streams than I have before. What does this gear do? One more column break gem, and you already destroy almost every column with him, so I wouldn't get fooled by those gears. I'm getting other stuff from the prize well.
Triple.
Were you asking about Powerhouse Kurt Angle? Yeah, he's very good. Blows up the board with his X-Break gems into a submission, which creates more X-Break gems.
What? PH? Frankie.
Powerhouse.
Oh. Start having this good, and I don't have one, but it's good. Frankie. I got him in a lucky pull at 4-star S.
That's a very lucky pull.
I thought AJ Styles was trash.
He's good as a tag team partner for Kurt Angle.
Wrong. Wanda Lee. I got a 2-star. Good. You want already, basically. Bye-bye. Oh, he cracked him himself.
Yeah, but which Steve Austin? There's 4 Steve Austins in the game.
I was down here for like...
Or I guess there's only 3. Is there 3?
Wait, was I down here for like an hour? 30 minutes?
How about that?
His mom was waiting. Striker Austin.
Yeah, he's pretty good with his gear. which makes his submission pretty great. Huh. Fandango and Tyler Breeze is the best Showdown tag team there is.
Gary Spikes think I'm gonna skip Showdown perks this event, and I don't know what the rest 3MP
Yeah, it's an
means.
interesting dilemma. I always start with the tour perks and the blitz perks, and then once Showdown event starts, I see what I'm going up against. But usually with Showdown, you just do what you can that first day. Get to the level you need for when it resets at night. And then most people lower their defense on the second day, so you can usually max that Showdown event without needing that perk.
Dad, do you start this game in like 2017?
I don't remember. Somewhere around there.
That's where High School Musical is, Albuquerque.
What?
You can find me in Albuquerque. Let's see if Mom's awake.
Yeah, Andre's very good, Brandon, and he stays very good for a long time. So Andre's someone you want to focus on for sure. Yeah, Gary, I need to get his best trainers leveled up now. I need to work on my Demon Balor and my Eric Rowan to be able to run Andrade at his max, because right now I'm running a bit of a secondary build with him. As you can see, this Kurt Angle recycles nicely. The X breaks blow up the board. You hope that it fills your sub. The sub keeps your opponent's move down and puts more X-Break gems on the board. He's a super fun character to use. Guten Tag. Yeah, I just got Rowan, so I haven't touched Rowan yet. But I definitely need to get him up for training purposes. This might hurt. I think it's the yellows with the blue and Rowan and Demon Balor, 9K. I know, the black TP is crazy, crazy. This 4-star gold Mark Henry's no joke either. Yeah, the blue TP issue they've got to fix because there's something wrong with their algorithm. Every time you get, you get 8 100 times TP bags, 400 of it's going to be blue. And then the other remaining 400 is split up between the 5 other colors. So it's something they certainly need to fix because it's not a coincidence. Yeah, my striker Bret is also at 4 bronze. He's going silver as soon as I get enough black TP. Why does striker Bret not have a WCW link? Because the only time he was in the NWO was in WCW. So why he has an NWO link but not a WCW link, I don't understand. It's weird. Yeah, me too, Gary. I did exactly the same thing. Out of the 140K TP I got, over 60,000 of it was blue. Yeah, AK, I haven't used him a lot since I I haven't needed to lately, so I can have a look again and see. I was just saying that move set off the top of my head. I know it's the two yellows that if you have Rowan and Demon Balor is the best build. I've been using the other build with the blacks because I don't have those guys high. So yeah, yellow, yellow, blue is if you have Balor and Rowan, but I've been using black, black, blue. So I think with this you want to go either you want to go blue gem damage. Yes, I know about Sting. Why did I think with the raw link that that black move would be? I guess I'm one short. So we need Bray to make that turn one. I don't think there will be another WrestleMania event. No, this takes us right up to WrestleMania. So let's see what these blue gems are worth here. They're 10 times multi-gems right now. $68,000 each. Dude, have a look at my my inventory box here. My new inventory. Let's count the metals I have in it. So there's 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, 44, like a lot. Because my metals right now are full. I've only got room for 110 right now because I don't want to spend the in-game cash on more. Like those I can sell. So I've got room for 12 more. Is there even 12 in here that I want to keep? They're all gray. I wish you could just choose to delete them right from here. Yeah, I got these, but I don't want any of those, so let me just delete them from here. Why you have to claim them before you can delete them, I don't know. Yeah, once you equip a medal and equip a strap, they shouldn't count as part of your storage. If it's on someone, it should free up those spaces. There's 10 more Bret shards. So I'm at 257 and I need 380. So 123 more black. And I can take him silver. I do have the Fiend. I guess he'd be a turn 1 farmer too. Just 2 clicks of the purple button. I haven't leveled him up super high yet just because I need some more resources. Yeah, I don't have Z-Taker. I wish I did. Yeah, that's pretty simple. Two purple clicks. Yeah, I have it. You don't need to use it for the effects to work. Once you have the gear and claim it, it doesn't. He doesn't have to be wearing it for it to work. I just think he looks better like this. That's all. Same thing with Ray. I've got Ray's gear, but doesn't matter which one. 2 gears. Doesn't matter which one he's wearing for the effects to. if I'm going to be using the Fiend for a bunch of matches, I would rather. It's just more visually appealing that he's the Fiend and not Firefly Bray. Yeah, it's amazing some of the little things that bug us. I agree with you. The door, it looks like he's carrying around a sawed off 1 foot by 3 foot section of door to hide behind. Plus, they just gave him the same animation as they gave the Fiend on his entrance and his finisher, so you figure that they would have done a separate little happy waving silly one for Firefly Funhouse. Who has a sub that turns into multi-gems? Is it Jake the Snake? If anyone has a sub you could get to on turn 1, that when the sub ends, the gems turn into multiply gems, because then the loot gems, when they come down, would go on to multi-gems. Charlotte? Her subs turn into multi-gems, but there's only 4 gems. I don't think you'd get to her move on turn 1. Does anyone else have a sub that becomes multiply gems? Too many 1 TPs down at this level. Who are you asking? No, I'm in Canada. Watch the damage this double bleed and sub does. One more hour till something new happens. I have 37 rush tokens. Subject to change. Danger. No, not at this level. He's only facing like, what's the last match here against Hacksaw? Hacksaw's probably at what, like a high 3-star silver. I do not get lucky on key pulls. It's just the way it goes. Mine are bad always. I'm in a bucket that I can't get out of. If it's an easy enough match, Marloon, I just stay there. especially this past week since I haven't been going to work or been going anywhere. There's been a lot of boredom, so I can do this for a long time. I'm gonna check my Showdown store today to see if I can get black TP lucky. No. Passing the vacuum. No. Why is there some weird audio on the stream? Vacuum's not going. This might be trouble for me now, because causing a pin with that yellow move is the worst thing you can do. Yeah, it could be the fan on my laptop because I'm running this off my MacBook, so it could just be the laptop fan that you're hearing. Is it loud? Yes, I need black TP for NWO Bret. It's the best way to run Paige in a tag team with Fandango. I don't use any emulator. I've just got my iPhone plugged into my MacBook, and then I use QuickTime to put the iPhone on the screen. Because Paige's finisher increases the value of Protect Gems that Fandango is putting on the board. So with Fandango's Protect Gems and the Botch Gems from his skill plate, this is not what I do not want. For sure it does. The Botch Gems, in addition to his Protect Gems, are so good. See, she can't kick out. You put Fandango's Protect Gems on the board, and then when you tag in Paige with her finisher loaded, she increases the strength of those Protect Gems, and most women just can't kick out. I wouldn't run Paige like this on her own. I would only run her like this with this tag team. And you see, even though we took a hit from Booker T's Power Gems, because of all the protection on the board, Fandango took no damage. The only issue you get into is when you cause a pin on that first yellow area move. If you can get by that without causing a pin, it's a pretty easy victory. And there we cause a pin. But he's still, there's still chances are he's not kicking out because of the Botch Gems and Protect Gems. So even when you do cause a pin, yeah, she's very slow, and when you're running her solo, you certainly want to bring some Protect Gem props along so that you can put those on the board when you run your Protect Gem into Crossbreak Gem move, just to cause more damage. But she's a showboat, so she doesn't do a lot of damage. On her own, you run the red moves. I think I don't use her, so I don't know. Off the top of my head, I'd have to have a look at it. So now I'm putting the second set of 8 Protect Gems on the board. Now I tag in Paige. Oh, but her finisher's not loaded, of course. Why would it be? Now it is. She took next to no damage there because of the Protect Gems. Now she's going to increase those Protect Gems by 1,735 each. We'll see if Lita can kick out. She might, because that row break's going to get rid of some of the protection. Yeah, she got a couple of big cascades. But you see Paige took 0 damage from all that. None. 8K. And now we can tag him back in. Now Paige's finisher is loaded again. She's going to put some more Protect Gems out there. Just no chance of kicking out, and took no damage. So both are still at full health. I love it when Booker puts power gems on the board and then breaks them himself. See, Wendy can't kick out. So that's our 6 mixed showdown matches for the day. Max star limit on that and 0 damage taken, 0 health packs. How does he play with showdown perks on? You mean when other people are taking down his starting MP? Same way, it's just not turn 1. Am I going to run Women's Showdown? Sure, I can. You want me to use Lita? Lita has anyone really good to run with in Showdown? See, in Showdown, I would run her differently than I run her normally. I would probably tag her with Rhonda and use her yellow and green just like you do with Rhonda. Because Lita's blue moves take away black gems and red gems. So you can't run her with Bree and you can't run her with Rhonda because you need black gems for both of those people. So you have to run her differently in Showdown than you would normally. Yeah, but we're talking Women's Showdown here. She doesn't really have links with anybody either. Can't run her with Zombie Paige because she takes away red. If I were going to run her with Rhonda, I'd run the greens and yellows. Yeah, you could run her with Wendy. Yeah. Yeah. Are we going for a walk?
Yeah, Mom's awake. She said she wants to take a shower.
Okay.
So, in the meantime, in her shower, this is our chance we could play ball hockey.
Okay.
Huh?
Okay, just... Okay. Guess you could run her like this. Yeah, but what does Steph do for her? Yeah, that's the problem with Lita. She doesn't have a link with anybody that gives her that extra MP. I don't even know what Stephanie's blue moves are. I've never even looked at them. Okay, so that blue move made purples. I don't want that for Lita. Anyway, Bree is the only woman I run in Women's Showdown now, and you can see why. Lita just doesn't team well with anyone. Okay, folks, I got to take off for a bit. I might be back on later, otherwise, I'll be back on tomorrow for sure. Thank you for hanging with me. I'm gonna go walk the dogs.